I just wanna chill and twist the lie, catch stunts in my 745. You drive me crazy, shorty. I need to see you and feel you next to me. I provide everything you need, and I like your smile. I don't wanna see you cry. Got some questions that I gotta ask, and I hope you can come up with the answers, babe. Girl, hey, it's easy to love me now. Hey, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me, girl? It's easy to love me now. Now, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me? If I fell off tomorrow, would you still love me? If I didn't smell so good, would you still hug me? If I got locked up and sentenced to a quarter century, could I count on you to be there to support me mentally? If I went back to a hoopty from a Benz, would you poof and disappear like some of my friends? If I was hit and I was hurt, would you be by my side? If it was time to put in work, would you be down to ride? I get out and peel a brother cap, chill and dry. I'm asking questions to find out how you feel inside. If I ain't rap cause I flip burgers at Burger King, would you be ashamed to tell your friends you're feeling me? In the bed if I use my tongue, would you like that? If I wrote you a love letter, would you write back? Now we could have a little drink, you know, a nightcap, and we could go do what you like, I know you like that. Girl, it's easy to love me now. Oh, now, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me, girl? It's easy to love me now. Woo. Would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me? Now would you leave me if your father found out I was thugging? Do you believe me when I tell you you the one I'm loving? Are you mad cause I'm asking you 21 questions? Are you my soulmate? Cause if so, girl, you a blessing. Do you trust me enough to tell me your dreams? I'm staring at you trying to figure how you got in them jeans. If I was down, would you say things to make me smile? I treat you how you wanna be treated, just teach me how. If I was with some other chick and someone happened to see, and when you asked me about it, I said it wasn't me, would you believe me or up and leave me? How deep is our bond if that's all it takes for you to be gone? We only humans, girl, we make mistakes to make it up, I do whatever it takes. I love you like a fat kid love cake. You know my style, I say anything to make you smile. Girl, it's easy to love me now. Oh no, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me, girl? It's easy to love me now. Oh, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me, girl? Could you love me in a Bentley? Could you love me on a bus? I'll ask 21 questions, and they all about us. Could you love me in a Bentley? Could you love me on a bus? I'll ask 21 questions, and they all about us.
From the show that brought you Suck My Dick to Diana, to It's Not About the Pasta, It's Not About the Pasta, to Scandoval, to God knows whatever goes through the mind of Sashi Schroeder. This, folks, is the SUR Files. Welcome to episode 2, ladies and gentlemen. I am Joshie Lopez. Make sure to do us a favor and hit that like button and smash the subscribe button as we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Make sure to follow us on YouTube at the SUR Files, TikTok at SUR Files. I'm alongside the good brother of all good brothers, Matt McCool. What's going on, my man?
What's going on, Josh? Happy Wednesday. Excited for another episode. Thanks for everyone for tuning in for a second straight week. Looking forward to talking about this next episode, The Valley, and getting into some Housewives talk later.
Yes, it's going to be a fun episode today. For those who are able to check out our premiere episode last week, I want to give you a big shout out. We appreciate that. And, some feedback along the way. I appreciate that. Also, again, a big shout out to everybody on TikTok. Like, we're very close to getting to 2,000 followers already, nearly 3 million views from the videos and scenes we've been able to compile over the last couple of weeks. But got a really nice community up there on TikTok, so we want to give a big shout out to everybody there. And for everybody that's watching us right now on YouTube or listening to the podcast or anywhere you get your podcasts from, I just want you guys to know, comment down below if you guys have any thoughts or takeaways from last night's edition of Vanderpump Rules, episode 2 for season 12. We'd love to hear from you guys. And if you ever have any questions for us, you can hit us up on X. I'm at the Hoots Podcast. Matt is at Twitter at McCool24. So we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about, like Matt just said. Our deep dive topic today is about the Valley. Last week on the SUR Files, we kind of gave our thoughts about the OG cast and what made Vanderpump Rules special. But with this being a Bravo-based podcast, we do want to talk about the Valley because it is part of the Vanderpump universe. And we're not going to break down every little angle that's going on right now. There's 2 seasons to dissect from this show.
Yeah,
but
I think that could take an entire podcast, not that would take an entire podcast to break down all the different scandalous BS that has come from the Valley. It's interesting, and season 3 is already wrap production.
Yeah, that should be coming up right now in the springtime, probably right before WrestleMania season. There's a lot to discuss, so we'll do that. Also, we teased this last week, but we're going to have a Housewives segment at the end of today's podcast where Matt will give me the loop around of what's going on in the House World universe and anything that's running through his mind. And then, of course, we'll be recapping episode 2 from season 7 from Vanderpump Rules. We're calling these recap segments the vibe check. So me and Matt will give you our honest thoughts of what we took away from the second episode. And also shout out to Natalie, who was a guest on Lala's Untraditionally Lala podcast this morning. I got to listen to it.
Interesting.
I thought it was pretty good. So we'll talk a little bit about that as well. But Matt, how you doing, my man?
I'm good. I'm really excited to talk about Vanderpump Rules. I just got a chance to catch the second episode this morning, and I really think that they're firing all cylinders right now.
It's a good vibe so far. I wanted to mention this before we get to the Valley, especially with the SUR Files. I'm really excited for what's ahead. Like we said last week, we get to talk about some topics that haven't been addressed amongst Vanderpump Rules fans, and maybe me and Matt could have a debate one day on a certain topic. We never know what's going to come up where me and Matt are going to disagree on something, but
that'll happen.
It'll probably happen. But in the past, we've had debates in our old podcast, which was pretty. Oh my gosh!
we had a whole debate about 2 female wrestlers that I clearly won 10 years ago. We had the fans vote on it. I had pages of notes. I had a whole promo segment going. That was actually one of the funnest nights I've ever recorded. Probably the funnest night. That was such a blast.
I'll be honest with you. I'm getting. So for those who don't know, my podcast, Who's Podcast, is ending in 5 weeks. We have five more episodes. So this week will be 495. But since I'm making decisions to move away from wrestling talk, I will admit that night that we recorded the Brother Carter versus Matt debate is, for me as well, one of my favorite nights of talking about wrestling or ever recording a podcast. It was awesome.
we just laugh, man. We were just howling at each other. Oh my gosh! If anyone is a sports fan, you're a big sports fan. It was like Stephen A. Smith versus Skip Bayless. It was like that. We're just jazzing each other up the whole time.
I was the moderator for this debate, and it was a blast. For those who don't know, Brittany Cartwright has a podcast called Reality Hits. She just had Kristen Doty on as a guest on last week's episode. And Matt, I don't know if you heard anything about this, but I guess there was some drama or tea at BravoCon that had to do with Tom Sandoval and his girlfriend fighting the entire weekend. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
The only thing that I think that I saw was the last night of BravoCon. There was a picture going around from the Talent Hotel of Tom and his girlfriend. I think in an argument with I think it was either Scheana or Lala or something.
No, Lindsay Hubbard.
Lindsay
Summer
Hubbard.
House.
Okay, yeah. That's the only thing I heard about Tom and his girlfriend BravoCon wise. It was Lindsay.
Yeah. Look, I'm not gonna come here and try to guess what's going on with those two. That's none of my business. As I stated on last week's episode, I am a fan of Tom Sandoval. Sometimes he doesn't make it easy for me to be a fan of Tom Sandoval, so I'm not gonna talk shit where it doesn't need to be talk shit. It was a topic that was addressed on Brittany's podcast last week because they had a run-in with Tom and Victoria at BravoCon, and I guess long story short, Victoria got confused with a situation where she was texting Luke, Kristen's fiance. They're not married yet. She was texting him early in the morning. Tom and Victoria are late night people. Nothing wrong with that. No judgment there from my end. That's your prerogative. And for whatever reason, Kristen decided to, she wasn't mad. She said that she wasn't mad, but she decided to walk up to Sandoval at one of the bars at BravoCon and she brought this up that Victoria was texting Luke. I guess Tom took that the wrong way and got pissed and it was he called Victoria over oh, what the hell's going on? Kristen and Brittany wanted to get out of Dodge because they were supposed to meet up with Schwartz and his girlfriend that came into town. And it's a crazy story. But if you guys haven't checked it out, go to Reality Hits with Brittany Cartwright. Kristen Doty was a guest last week, and I thought it was something interesting to bring up because Kristen, she sends mixed messages. Don't get me wrong. I love Kristen. I said it before. She's one of my favorite characters from that show's history. But I have to call a spade a spade. She does send mixed messages. 1 second, you're on that pocket saying that you're fine. There's no issues with Tom Sandoval. You're not mad at him. You're not holding anything over his head or anything like that. You admitted that you guys are living different lives and you're okay with that. But the next second, you're doing this whole gossip shit with Brittany where you're saying that you don't want you're making it out that you don't want to be friends with him, and it's just weird. I'm not gonna come up to you, Matt. We're hanging out, right? Let's say we went to WrestleMania weekend, right? And I came up to you at the fan access thing. I'm like, hey, Matt, what's going on? Hey, maybe you're drunk or whatever. I'm not gonna go on the podcast 3 days later and talk shit about you because you're drunk.
It's Vegas. What do you mean?
Right. Yeah, I need a sober, depressed Tom Sandoval at BravoCon because we're in Vegas. What the fuck?
Going to a talent convention where you're sober is not the. I don't think in Vegas is not the best idea. Just my opinion.
Do you have any thoughts on it from what I just brought up, or no?
I mean, I don't know. I think that there's a lot of stupid, crazy, obsessed fans out there that and I know because I read Bravo and Cocktails. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit and say that I don't. That want to run into Tom Sandoval and then want to go run a Bravo and Cocktails and give an anonymous tip, and their email is isawtom@gmail.com. Who cares? He's allowed to do whatever he wants to do. And also let's also not forget whether it's Tom Sandoval or it's Ken Marcus or it's Bronwyn and her husband on Salt Lake City. We're not in these relationships. We don't know them personally, and we can't judge because we don't know them personally. And that's just the bottom line.
Facts. And Kristen, again, I just it's a bad look to send mixed messages. You're saying in one thing out of your mouth saying that you're you're okay with Sandoval. Luke is friends with Sandoval. Everything's fine. But because him and Victoria were drunk, and like most couples, they usually do have arguments. You try to make them look bad. I just don't get that. I don't. Anyways, also I saw on the Instagram story that they had like this Christmas get together with Lala, Janet, and Brittany at her house for Christmas. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that leads us into our that's a good way as a professional here to transition into our deep dive topic here on the podcast this week. It's time to talk about the Valley, Matt. We're 2 seasons in, and we already have a spinoff of the show. They announced a Parisian version of the Valley. I think it's either out now or about to be out soon. I'm not sure about that. I haven't been keeping too much tabs on it.
They released a trailer at BravoCon. I believe its premiere is like first week of January.
Right. So the Valley, Jax Taylor will lead you to believe that he's the only reason why the Valley exists. I've done some research, and some of the things I've been able to pile up on the TikTok page. That's not necessarily true. The Valley was actually been in the works for a long time, even before Jax brought it back up during COVID when he got booted off of Vanderpump. That's another, by the way, sidebar, Matt, that's another topic that we're going to need to discuss one day about when Kristen, Saucy, and Jax got booted off the show. I wanted to have that conversation with you because you were watching it during that time period.
I can't wait. I'll have a lot of thoughts on that.
Yeah,
sure.
I think that's a very important conversation to have because I told you guys before I loved season 8. That's one of my favorite seasons from the show. But they left, right? That was they were done after that season.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm someone that's watched the show from the beginning, and after Jax was fired, after that season, the show was not the same. The show was different, but without the original cast, and everyone on the show, I didn't look at it the same.
Right.
I'm being completely honest.
Right. So to bring it back to the Valley here, we're kicking these off where Jax, Brittany, and Kristen have an extension of the VPR fan group. These are couples that have kids. They're all in their mid-30s, going into their 40s. A lot of things have changed in the past few seasons. Originally, Michelle and Jesse were together. Now they're divorced. We know Jax and Brittany separated. They're not technically divorced yet. That's not been finalized as of this recording. Kristen had a baby. Congratulations to her and Luke. They have a baby named Kaya. Zach is Brittany's one of Brittany's best friends from her home in Kentucky. They went to college together. And Zach is, I'll say this, he's good TV, but he is definitely a pot stirrer. I'll just say that. That's one of my first takeaways from that show.
He's definitely a pot stirrer, and he definitely knows when the cameras are on too. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
I actually finished watching the first 2 seasons of The Valley. I just finished it about a month and a half ago.
Okay.
And it didn't really take me that long. I think the first 2 seasons, they only had 14 or 15 episodes each, which kind of helped things out for me. But one of the things I have enjoyed, so I got more context, was the Valley After Show. And they have even more confessionals and exclusive conversations about what's going on with shit. And I'll tell you this, Matt, and I'd love to get your thoughts. Overall, I really enjoyed the Valley. I really do. I like the flow of it. Is there a lot of BPR vibes, tropes, the way it's presented? You know what I mean? Yes. There's a lot of it that comes off that BPR universe. And I'm not knocking it. I mean, these are a lot of the same people that were on that show. I'll tell you this, though. There's a lot of pettiness on this show that doesn't need to be pettiness. There's a lot of high schoolness that I get from the show, especially from Janet. I'll throw Zach in there because he's not excluded from this. Jasmine, she's very funny. I don't have any personal issues with her at all or anybody on the cast. But I'll say this: Jasmine's also another pot stirrer where one moment she's fine and then she wants to bitch about something else. And then the big topic that happened, especially during last season, was the whole controversy with Daniel Bucco and his drinking situation. And unfortunately, what happened with him and Jasmine is not cool. I don't condone that shit. I don't care if you're drunk or whatever. Whether it's you didn't. That's the thing. Like, I don't want to get to this whole Janet slope. Like, he didn't commit domestic violence. He didn't do anything that extreme. But again, if you're in a public setting, I don't care what your situation is. You don't put a woman against her will. I don't agree with that.
It didn't sound like he put any woman against her will. It sounded like he touched Jasmine's leg and look, again, we were all not at that party. We weren't at Jax's bar that night. We don't really know what happened. Yeah. But I thought that was very played up the whole season, as was the whole Danny drinks too much thing. Like, that was ridiculous too. I think like, and I just want to kind of just give my general thoughts about the Valley in general. Like, I was very excited for it when they announced it. It's a perfect extension of Vanderpump Rules. There's a lot of, people like me who started watching Vanderpump Rules when they were younger and now are reaching, mid adulthood. So it's kind of like a natural progression for the viewers too, because the viewers obviously still wanted to see, like, keep up with Jax and with Kristen and with Brittany. I thought the show feels very natural. It doesn't feel as forced. You have people that are naturally connected as a cast, which I liked. The drama was really great. I was always a big fan of Jax, watching Jax on TV on Vanderpump Rules. He was my favorite character on the show because he's just great TV and he's hilarious. So I was looking forward to seeing Jax when it was announced. And I think that I think he needs to go work on himself for this upcoming season, and he'll definitely be back on the show, like, for sure, whether it's next season or the season after that, once he gets himself together. But I think I'm excited for season 3 with Tom Sandoval and Lala joining the cast. I really, really enjoyed it. I think it's a natural progression for Vanderpump Rules, but also for a lot of the other Bravo franchises. You're going to see it with Summer House. It's happening with Summer House. With Summer House filmed their upcoming season, and this fall they are filming or have filmed a new spinoff with Lindsay Hubbard and Kyle Cook and Carl and Amanda. So it's happening around the Bravo universe, and I did really like The Valley. I'm happy you started watching, because I remember when we first started talking about this, Josh, you were like, I haven't watched it. I'm like, well, if you like Vanderpump Rules, you're going to love The Valley. What were your thoughts on the comparison between the shows and kind of, overall feelings about The Valley and thoughts going into season 3?
Well, trying to take the stench out of that last reunion from Vanderpump Rules out of my brain threshold.
Great point.
It's
a great way to put it.
I really enjoyed the I hate to say, like, darkness, but just the true raw nature of some of the topics that were broached during the show. I know, I guess Jesse, from what I see on social media, is kind of like the controversial, besides Jax, the guy that people like to shit on, whether it's the cast or social media. I'll tell you this, I don't really mind Jesse Ellie. I think he's pretty funny in his own way, and obviously having the divorce with Michelle didn't end well, and they were really bickering with each other a lot. But I like the new people. I love Nia. She's hot. She's pretty dope. She's a great mother. I think it's kind of cool that they actually have, as compared to Vanderpump, where Daniel Bucco's actually an actual actor and a voice actor, actually doing Hollywood stuff. Beforehand on BBR, we always had like, "Oh, I'm striving to be this. I'm trying to be an actor."
No, I was an iCarly. Everyone knows I was an iCarly.
Right. So I just love the flow of the show. The drama was there, and I really, like I said, I want to stress this one. I really appreciate the authenticity of the Valley, especially when it came to the stuff with Jax and Brittany. Not only the finale of season one, which was that conversation where they were arguing each other in the bedroom to end season one is one of my favorite scenes that I've seen so far from the Valley. Where right before they announced that they were going away, and Josh is like, "Oh, I was scheduling my doctor to have a doctor's appointment," and it's a really good scene. You guys should go check it out if you haven't seen it. But it's raw, it's real, some really hard hitting topics that I don't think that's been approached that much from my observation from Bravo.
They treat topics that are brought up on the Valley a lot more serious than they have in the past. Like I think that now that with how the internet is and how much fans know about production, like the fourth wall is broken. So like what the fans really want to see is just authenticity out of whatever is on their screens, and I think that the vast majority of the cast is authentic. Do I think that Zach plays it up for the cameras? 100%. He does. 100%.
So does Janet.
Janet does too. And oh my gosh, Janet. I feel like Janet is the type of reality TV star that like will watch herself in confessionals, take notes, and then have like literally like the best one-liners ready to go for the next season. Like I think she thinks she's some kind of read room artist or something. It's a little bit weird.
She wants to be Katie Maloney and Ariana so bad.
I know.
Funny, man.
I actually thought it was really funny when she got called a fan. That was really funny.
That was good. I'll tell you this, Jason. He's the lawyer, right? That's Janet's husband, Jason.
Yeah, the smack ass. What?
he needs to grow a backbone.
Yeah, he doesn't. He literally looks like a bitch. Both seasons when it comes to his wife. Like he's definitely the softer one of the two of them, and that's fine. You need to be like a soft person, but like it just seems like she does all the talking and he doesn't really defend her at all.
No, for real. It's like the Schwartz syndrome. Like you are talking shit and you're talking down to Danny, but is that how you really feel, or are you just spewing shit that your wife wants you to say to Danny?
100%.
Right.
Comes from her.
I didn't. I
actually think you brought this up, and I actually think that most of the things that he says on that show comes from her. I think that 95% of the things that come out of his mouth come directly from her. I think they're the type of couple that plans before they film. 100%.
Yeah, for sure. I'll ask you straight up. How do you feel about Michelle? Because I'm 2 seasons in, and I still don't know how I'm supposed to look at her. Is she smarmy and a heel?
I mean, first of all, I love them on the first season. Their relationship was interesting.
Yeah.
It appeared to me that he really wanted to, save their marriage, and she had decided that she was done. Clearly, she decided she was done, and there was nothing that he could do to change that. Now, look, like, again, we're not in their house. We don't know if he really spent all of their money, if that's even true. I highly doubt that. Do I think that she looked really bad in season 2? Yeah. And she was, did Danny help himself? Not Danny. Did Jesse help himself by saying things on camera to her that he did? Probably not. But It's pretty clear if you watched both seasons that she cheated on him. Whether she had an emotional relationship, or she kissed the guy, or she actually slept with someone, she pretty clearly cheated on him, and she's not the victim at all, in my personal opinion. I just hope for their daughter that, like, moving forward, they can co-parent good. It seems like they are, and they're in a better place now. I believe that his girlfriend is supposedly on the next season. I think she is.
She is, and that was something that was addressed with the reunion, because I guess when they had that Zen party at the end of the
she came after they filmed, and then she tried to sue production because she was like, I'm not on the show, which was kind of lame, to be honest.
Is it Lacey or Casey?
I thought it was like Lacey Jane. or something like that, or
Yeah,
oh no, Lacey Nicole, that's her name.
Lacey Nicole, gotcha.
She's apparently she lives in Orange County, and I think she might be a realtor too. I'm not sure.
Well, that's another thing. Like, these people are probably making some really good money, let alone from the show. I mean, being a real estate agent.
Yeah, I actually thought about
Money.
that too. Like, my guess is that everyone that's on the cast probably makes six figures. I would think. I
Yeah.
think, but
I,
who knows?
hey, I'll take six figures.
I mean, I know that, like, back in the day, like, first season Housewives made nothing. Like, they made like 80K or for relative to the show. It's not like they're making millions from the show.
Yeah.
But this is a second season show with talent that's been on other shows before. But nowadays, like, they have many more opportunities to make money through podcasting and advertisements on social media, and like, they're making money from themselves, whether they're paid for the show or not.
Right. Another thing was the whole situation when it came to Kristen and Luke's engagement, and Brittany was. I think she made this on the after show that she was salty about it, that she wasn't there, and it was just Danny and Mia, and then that's how it kind of bled into that whole luau where her and Jasmine were like, I don't need to do this. They're showing up late, blah 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 blah. Like that part, I would say it bothered me, but I wasn't too crazy about that, to be honest with you. This is what Brittany. This is one of your best friends having one of the biggest moments of her life, and you're making it about yourself because you weren't there. I just don't think that's a good look.
Oh no, that was ridiculous.
Not only that, the next day she tells Jax about the news, and he puts it on the boys.
Of course he did. Of course he put it on the boys' chat.
Yeah.
Why would he not? The thing about Jax is he talks to everybody. He doesn't like.
Yeah,
you tell Jax something, he's gonna tell 10 other people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pick your poison. You know what you're getting yourself into.
As a viewer, I honestly I wanted to get through season 2. I wasn't sure how much like Jax was gonna be on the show the next season. It was a little dark at the beginning. I think it'll obviously will be a lot of drama.
Yeah.
In season 3, but I'm looking forward to having the show itself move on from all that dark stuff. It needs to.
I mean, besides the cast trips, I think there was something where the Valley took a trip to like a zoo or something in San Diego, if I'm not mistaken, or some like theme park type of thing in San Diego. We had the Halloween party that we were talking about before we pressed the record button.
Will be a cast trip somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. Mexico, maybe? Who knows? But I'll tell you this, even before anything comes out, I bet you any money that Lala is going to try to start some shit with Nia. I see those two and how Nia is as a person, and Lala's going to go at her.
Oh, for sure.
No.
And Nia, she's such a sweet person. Like,
Yeah.
she really is. Like, I love them as a couple. I love their relationship. You can tell how much they support each other.
Yeah. I see this. Let's talk a little bit about Jax, because we haven't really talked specifically about him too much when it came to the Valley. There was a couple things that stood out to me, especially with the second season. Him deciding to get the townhouse next to Schwartz. I thought that was pretty funny.
That was hilarious.
I am curious, and I want to get your thoughts on this, about how Jax is going to be addressed on season 3, even though he's not going to be on it. Is it something where the girls are going to try to talk shit towards Schwartz while they're trying to deflect onto Jax? Like, I don't want Schwartz to be the scapegoat for Jax.
I've always disliked how Schwartz is a scapegoat for Scandoval or Jax, because they're boys. It's one of your best friends. Of course, you're gonna have their back. That's friendship. Exactly. Like, are you kidding me? Like, watching all the girls on Vanderpump Rules the last season try and like guilt trip Schwartz into not being friends with his boy as a guy is ridiculous. Thoughts about Jax? Yeah, I mean, I love Jax. Jax is great TV. Jax is hilarious. If not for Jax, I don't know if Vanderpump Rules would have necessarily taken off, like, if not for his presence on the show. It's been hard to watch some of these issues that have come up about him. I think if you watch Vanderpump Rules, I don't think that you're too surprised by hearing some of this news, if you're being honest. If you've ever gone out and you've been around that, it's pretty obvious what he's doing. But yeah, I mean, I hope he's a Michigan guy. I love that about him. I hope that he, works on himself, and I think he will. I think that Jack's villain arc has happened with the Valley. It started off so-so, and now he certainly is villain arc, but I do believe that we're going to see a Jax Taylor hero arc coming back at some point on the Valley.
Yeah. I will say I agree with you. It was stupid. I remember like Scandoval saying on one of the after shows, he was like, Ariana, you want my parents to stop talking to me?
Yeah.
You want my best friend and business partner to stop talking to me and act as if I don't exist? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's literally insane.
Oh, I can't throw a party at my house and you're going to call the fucking cops on me for my birthday? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
One last thing on the Valley I want to ask you, since we're getting to season 3, given everything that we saw at the reunion, and I'll say this, I felt really bad for Jax, especially when he was breaking down, and it's like, I don't know, he's getting to the point, it's like, I don't know what else you want me to do, like, he's saying that all the shit that's going on inside is like, bring him to a dark side, and like I felt bad for him. I really did. Seeing him break down like that, he's a very prideful guy. So seeing him breaking down and crying like that kind of made me sad while I was watching the reunion recently. But given everything that's happened in the first 2 seasons, is there anything that you want to predict, or anything you think is going to happen? Any rumors you can give me that I haven't seen yet?
Well, I mean, I think your prediction. I think Lala is going to come in firing. She obviously wasn't an official cast member last year. She had that little blip with Jesse, I believe. I think that we're going to see Jesse and Michelle, reconcile, which I'm looking forward to see. I think we're going to see more bullshit out of Janet, of course. She's going to be conceited, and she's going to watch herself season 2 and have everything ready and planned and out and ready to go. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking forward to just, more development of storylines with all the characters, seeing more of their relationships. It was nice to see more of Zach and Jasmine's, like, have them be official cast members. Second season was nice to see their lives. It just continues. It's kind of like the gift that keeps on giving. It's kind of like Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Just every episode is just loaded with content and everything, but I think my prediction is it will definitely be the best season of the Valley for sure.
So be on the lookout for that, guys. Season 3, I think we'll give probably more information either after Christmas or the start of the new year. Me and Matt will indeed recap those episodes for you guys once it starts airing for season 3. So
my guess is it'll probably start airing as soon as Vanderpump Rules is done. Probably.
And guess what? I'll be in Florida by that time.
yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the vibe check. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at episode 2 of Vanderpump Rules season 12, dubbed Manifest and Chill. Last night, really quick, Matt, just really quick, any first things that this is fresh in your memory. You said you watched the episode this morning. Any quick takeaways that you had on this show before you break it down?
Quick takeaways is I really want to give and I hope I don't sound like I'm kissing anyone's ass, because that's not what I do. I'm being 100% authentic and honest in what I'm saying. But yes. I got to give Evolution Media a lot of credit here. As a viewer, the show started kind of where it started before, but it felt authentic and natural, like they all worked there. And then the next episode, I felt like we start to kind of see, more of the wrapper come off of the candy bar. We see, you found out more about, the relationship between Venus Venus and Audrey, how they're really, really close and how they both are from Texas. And it's kind of funny. Oh yeah, I'm from Indiana. I'm from Texas. I just think this show, it just felt very natural to me. Surprisingly natural. I thought my initial expectations from the trailer was like, okay, like, are they really going to try and make it like it was before? But it just feels like it's naturally flowing at this point. To the point where, like, I feel like I can't wait for next week. I can't. Like, they left it off at a great spot, and I certainly have my opinions about the content and what we saw too. What about you?
I agree with you. I think it was a good cliffhanger in the teaser that they had for episode 3. Definitely caught my eye. Um, I don't want to repeat everything you said, but it's true. Big shots to Alex Baskin and Evolution Media for what they've done so far for this new reboot cast. I'll tell you this. I thought I thought the episode was good. I thought it was a nice follow up. Like again, we're in the beginning stage of getting to know these people, so yeah, they are messy, but we are getting the like foundation and the layers of who these people are. I'll tell you this: like we can start here, like the Marcus meeting that he had with Lisa, where he broke down and he told a story about losing his parents over the last couple of years, which is that made me sad. You don't want to see people losing their parents like that, especially in a couple year span like that. That's
Yeah.
not
No, no. I mean, and this is we're talking. I was trying to figure out. I thought that they started filming in June, but yeah, this is definitely like June of this year, and like that's so fresh. Like I can't even imagine. I don't think I'd be able to live. So I give him credit for even getting up and being able to go to work every day. And that was so real from him saying like, I wake up every day and I just try and just figure out what I can do to survive the day. That's a
right.
pain. That's a pain that you really really carry. And I mean, obviously his girlfriend is Kim is definitely younger than him and probably doesn't understand. But has he had that conversation with her, or is it just like, or are they just playing this up like they're just toxic and messy and all that stuff?
I guess that's where it could bring into the whole tie comparison to how Tom and Kristen were at the first part of the show. But
Jackson Stassi.
yeah, all four of them were toxic.
Even though the one that gives me Stassi energy is Natalie.
um, it's strange. Like at first, I thought I was looking at Scheana. I said this last week. I was looking at Scheana because she was like singing and everything. And then this week, as I'm watching the show, and especially it didn't help that I listened to her on Lala's podcast before I watched the episode this morning. Um, I'm getting kind of Lala vibes in a way with Natalie, where she has no filter. She'll say what's on her mind, and she doesn't give a shit. So I'm kind. So yeah, maybe like a Lala or Stassi. I could
And
see
it
that.
is really funny. Oh yeah, you were gone for an hour. 27 minutes later.
Right.
Like,
um, Demi is
oh,
definitely.
they also had Guillermo give her they gave her the write up in the middle of the shift while they were filming.
I'll tell you what, it was nice. It was nice seeing Gamer. I know you said you brought him up last
Yeah.
episode, so it
Yeah,
was cool.
I just wasn't sure because he wasn't in the first episode. So I was like, oh, what happened to Guillermo? Like, I remember Guillermo. But
Right.
yeah, just happy to see he's okay. No, we had a lot of really real topics this week, which I like to see. I thought that Lisa showed a lot of vulnerability. The meeting didn't come across like fake. Like I think
Yeah.
her like anytime she interacted with like the old cast last season, it was like really. It was like, do you remember when Ken asked someone a question and it was like, okay, it was like Lisa told you to say that. I don't remember what he was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about though.
Yes. Mm. I'll say this for Lisa, when she had to sit down with Sandoval about him having suicide thoughts, coming back from special forces and everything. I thought that was like an authentic conversation, but everything after that, where like she was trying to get everybody together and hang out, those type of conversations, I thought, yeah, that wasn't coming from a genuine place. And I'll give Lisa credit to this point too, because I saw a lot of people going into the season like, "Oh, we're back at SUR. Lisa's gonna make everything about herself. She's gonna be on 60 or she's gonna be on 90% of the episode." Not true. if anything, she's probably been on the show maybe 25% that I've seen so far from the first few episodes. She's playing her role. She's the boss. She's not taking shit from anybody, and she's trying to have. We've had two deep conversations already on the season. We had Natalie last week, and her giving a warning,
and we
Marcus,
also it was also revealed that Natalie was suspended, which we didn't find that out until this week as well.
Right. So to the crowd, it's like, oh, we're back at SUR. Lisa's making the season about herself. That's not the case.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, I think that they need to use Lisa for the restaurant and for the fact that she's a partner in the restaurant. It's her restaurant, and have authentic relationships with the staff. But it doesn't need to be where it's where she's like, oh, I'm a mother. Like that's a little much. Like if you just met these people.
Yeah. Another backdrop for this episode was leading up to Audrey's 22nd birthday. This is the episode for it. And I guess the manifest tie was kind of that, I wouldn't say weird, but it was an interesting conversation that she had with Venus at his apartment. And I guess he was a manifestation type of coach on the side, which is cool. But Audrey is getting ready to celebrate her 22nd birthday. She talks about her dating history. I think she said something like, I've learned in Hollywood that it's probably better not to date your coworkers than trying to find somebody
Yeah.
in the city. So I'll say this, and like we didn't get too much intel on her last week. Like I think she came in like a couple scenes here and there, but I really like the backdrop of her story this week and get to know her. I love her vibe.
Oh yeah, she's such a great vibe. She's great casting for the show. Like they were definitely trying to get like a Sydney Sweeney type, and she's perfect. She's authentic. She's fun. And I think that the end of the episode was unbelievable. I mean, first of all, Josh, who's in the wrong? Is Marcus in the wrong, or is Kim in the wrong? Because the last thing I have written down from the episode is on Marcus's side, and that Kim is crazy.
I thought it was interesting that Marcus pulled the Jax card. He's like, "Well, I'm grieving from." He prefaced it by saying, "I gotta give him credit." He said, "I want to preface this by saying that I don't want to use this card, but hey, I'm grieving because I lost my parents. So, do I really give a shit about what's going on here in this silly argument between Kim and Natalie? No, I don't."
It was really stupid. I don't even know what the argument was about. The argument definitely stems from insecurity. Like if you're insecure in your relationship, you go talk to your boyfriend about it. Would I be surprised to hear of the news that Natalie and Marcus hooked up in the past? No, not at all.
No.
Not at all. I don't know if it happened. Who knows? But I wouldn't be terribly shocked. But she's got to check herself. I mean, like, he didn't do anything wrong. You didn't see him cheat on you. And he has been friends with her and has known her for longer than you. Plus, the guy's also just got suspended at work, and he lost his parents. So give him a little bit of credit. I don't really see this couple lasting, if I'm being...
I don't either, and I'll tell you what, I'm on Marcus' side, and I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny on the side. Audrey's like having this lap dance, right? And she's like, "Why is Kim crying?" That was excellent. Again, that girl's a smoke show.
Some of those little nuances though are funny though, like. It's like when somebody looks right at the camera, breaks the fourth wall. Like you know that like obviously it has been really cool to watch this whole cast hang out as a group for the first time because you realize that this is the first time they're all probably hanging out as a group, and that's also been cool to see too. Like it gave me like such old school vibes to have like the first guys' night. That was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm glad you brought that up because it reminded me. One of my favorite parts of the episode today was Chris talking to his dad. I really liked that moment, and
me too.
And I guess it touched home for me because as of this recording, next week I'm moving out of Chicago and I'm moving to Florida, and I'm thinking about these conversations that I've been having with my dad. leading up to this move and seeing the conversation that him and his dad on FaceTime, that really, really touched me. So I really liked that part of the episode today. And also, I gotta say, not only Demi, but also Venus was definitely doing the posturing shit towards the end of that episode. There was no reason that Kim and Natalie needed this big sit down woo-ha and then got dragged
No, he
along.
was. I understand that he's gay as well, but he was totally giving Zach, like, literally trying to stir the pot. He also said that Marcus has a drinking problem. I think, and look, it's cool to see these new people that are on Vanderpump Rules, have never had to film a show and then do confessionals, but I have a feeling that he's going to have a lot to answer to at the reunion.
Yeah, exactly. And, sometimes it's not just like a TV thing. This happens a lot with entertainment across the board. Like, sometimes you'll like see a movie trailer, right, for a movie, and you kind of get like, I don't know, maybe 75% of what the movie is before you go see it in the theaters. I kind of got that with that initial long trailer that we had for this season, because we see, like, they previewed this. I don't know when it's going to happen, but like there's this argument that Marcus and Venus have in the back of the SUR alley.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I can see the reason why this is going this way, because Venus can't keep his mouth shut. You say on one hand that Marcus is your best friend, and then you're calling him an alcoholic. Like, that's
Yeah,
not.
I mean, I think, and they did say, he's like, oh yeah, everybody drinks in the job. Like, I have been around like bars and restaurants. I have been at bars and restaurants where I know the staff, where I know for a fact that like the staff is going to start drinking at a certain point, and then at the end of the night we all go out afterwards or whatever. You know, I think at a certain extent it's. If you're a bartender, you're of course going to try the drinks, but like there's a line between that and then like trying to train somebody. And then it was also really cool. I don't know if you noticed this in this episode, that they showed the cameraman. They showed like the actual footage, which was nice to see.
Yeah.
And it, to me, after like talking about it last week, I think he was just trying to play it up for the cameras a little bit, not thinking that he would get in trouble. And they just gave him episode 1 and, in 20 minutes, like the whole topic for the first 2 episodes of the show.
Yeah. So, like, we had another blowout at the end of the episode, and I don't know what it is. Like, it's just like the VPR. No, it's not even VPR only. I mean, it happens on the Valley too. Anytime there's a birthday going on or something like that, there's always something about to blow off. Every single time. I could count so many different things, like Ariana and James randomly arguing with each other in Mexico before Scheana's birthday because James was about to get in a fight with somebody random that had nothing to do with the show. Saucy and Jax for that
wild.
The Frank fight with Jax for the first season. You want to go, motherfucker? You want to go? You got the white hoodie and everything.
I did watch that special that they have on Peacock. That brought back some old school vibes for sure. But that's just it's great editing. Like they all want us to tune in next week.
The Raise Your Glass special.
Oh yeah.
That was good. About the intro? Do you like the old?
Yeah, I liked I liked how I did the Raise Your Glass thing with having Andy and Lisa there. That was cool to see. Like, I thought they were just gonna put a bunch of highlights and have a voiceover, but they actually had Andy go to LA and film it, which was cool. And then I obviously the intro I thought was really well done too.
Yeah, that never gets old. I thought that was pretty dope.
No, that Raise Your Glass song is a great pump up song. Listen to that before I go for happy hour or something. Get you all pumped up.
And we'll finally get to meet Angelica on next week's episode.
Yeah, the final piece to make it just like the first season. She's Scheana. I'm interested to see how she comes in and the vibe that she brings.
Speaking of James Kennedy, is this what Jason's role going to be this season, where he just gets himself in trouble by opening his mouth and just being there? Like, cause I'm getting like early James Kennedy vibes from this dude, and not in a good way.
Oh, really?
Not no. I think he's somebody that's gonna like put his foot in his mouth and do stupid shit. Didn't Chris say to his dad that no, his dad said to him that his Jason's middle name is Trouble.
Yeah, I could tell.
So all in all, manifest and chill. As we wrap up the vibe check here, out of 10, I think this is a good kind of grayscale as like we did last week. What's your vibe check for this week's episode?
What did I gave it an 8 last week, I think.
Yes.
Let's just go with the same score. This is not the college football rankings, guys. You know, if I wanna, dock somebody a point after 1 week, I'm allowed to do so.
Don't get me on college. Don't get me started on college football. It's the fact that playoff scenes are turning as if it's a fucking wrestling show. It's so fucking stupid. Like, oh, I think this person deserves this because this strength of schedule and blah blah blah. They're all full of shit. Like, let's be honest.
Everyone that's involved has some kind of a bias. That's a whole nother show. I am a massive college football guy. You know that. So,
Yes.
but yeah, I mean, I think that they're on a really great track. As a viewer, just not someone that like loves Vanderpump Rules, taking it just a regular TV viewer. Like as a viewer, I want to watch next week. I didn't want the episode to end. You kind of wanna see what happens. You wanna see the car crash and how Marcus's and Kim's relationship is gonna unfold.
Yes. I like the fact that this is gonna be a messy group. The stuff with Natalie and Demi, I thought was kind of catty at the beginning of the show about her being gone for however many minutes it was that she said. But I thought the show flew well, the episode flew well, and that's the thing. Like you want something to sink your teeth in, and it's not easy to do something like that right off the gate with a new cast. Only these episodes into it, but I like so far. I'll probably go like you said 8 or 8.5 for me for this episode. And I again, like you said, the beginning part of the segment, the fact that they talked about the backgrounds for Audrey and got to get to know her and a lot of these other people in the cast, their backgrounds. I thought that laid the good groundwork of what we could see going forward for these next couple of episodes. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the vibe check. Now, before we head out for this week's edition of the SUR Files, we teased this last week, and I'll be honest and upfront. While I'm new to the Bravo space in the Bravo universe, I'm not all the way tapped in with the Real Housewife franchises because I lost count on how many housewife shows there are out there or active at this point. And secondly, I cover about nearly 50 hours a week of professional wrestling, so I don't have all the time to watch all these episodes. So I'm glad that I have my Bravo expert and good brother of good brothers
Thank
here,
you.
Matt, to help me along the way as we continue on with this podcast. But we're going to do a segment each week where Matt clues me in on the world of the Housewives, or if there's anything else in the Bravo universe that he wants to rant about or rave. That's the part of this. We don't have a name for it yet, but this is the part where Matt's going to take over and clue me on some things, and we just shoot the shit to wrap up the show for today. So, Matt, the floor is yours, Zeus.
What is going on, guys? I'm really excited for this segment. This segment is going to be a variety of things. I think first and foremost, I kind of want to give a menu. And this is a menu of what we're watching right now, what is done filming, and then what will be filming soon. So right now we're Housewives of Beverly Hills airing. I'm going to talk about the first episode. We have Salt Lake City airing. We have Potomac airing, as well as Vanderpump Rules and Southern Charm. Real Housewives of Rhode Island is done. It'll premiere in February. That's going to be... I've heard that gives early New Jersey vibes, and apparently they don't really care what they say on camera, according to Dolores Catania. So that's going to be fun to see play back. And there's already like drama with, I think Rolia's husband like put a tracker on her car, and like they found that out. That's pretty crazy. We have Atlanta that just wrapped up their upcoming season, which we have 2 new housewives, Kay Michelle and I believe Pinky Cole, plus obviously Phaedra as a first full season back as an Atlanta housewife. That'll be juicy. And then we have Orange County, New York with the cast, and Miami that's going to be filming soon. Before anything films again, they did announce at BravoCon they're going to be doing a Housewives road trip. All I've heard about that is it's going to be a bunch of OGs, Vicky, Teresa, Nene, and they're going to go city to city and have like parties and invite a bunch of past housewives. So that I believe that films at the end of January, and after that they'll go right into OC. I said before that Evolution Media has a pretty busy schedule all year between Orange County, Beverly Hills, and Vanderpump Rules and the Valley. But in terms of where I want to start out with this week with this segment is I want to start with Beverly Hills. We had the first episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Josh, I implore you to go watch the second episode this week. The first episode's up for free on YouTube. We have the departure of Garcelle. I will have a lot of choice words for her and her fans in a couple minutes. We have the return to Bravo of Rachel Zoe. I was never someone that watched Project Rachel Zoe, whatever it was called, but I think she's going to bring a glamour and a class to the show that's been needed, a fashion, because let's be honest, a lot of people watch Beverly Hills for the fashion aspect of it, to see that lifestyle, to see, the designer labels, to watch them go on cast trips. It's a different Housewives franchise, and that is the core of the show is the lifestyle and the women's relationships. I thought that the first episode was unbelievable. Really, really set up the show for a really great season. The show feels a lot lighter. I felt that ever since Lisa Rinna has left, that she was the pot stirrer. She moved storyline, and when she left, there was really no one to do that. The casting wasn't great at all. I think that they were caught one season because I believe that Brandi Glanville was supposed to come back on the show. They had all that stuff with Girls Trip. They couldn't bring her back to the network, and they had no new housewife for the season. That was the Anne-Marie season. But yeah, I think the first episode was great. The music, the way that the girls were introed. I love seeing Kyle and Mauricio's relationship now. It's fun to see. A fun fact for fans that I actually found out is that Kyle Richards now is as old as Lisa Vanderpump was when she left Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So keep that in mind. It has been pretty crazy. It's been 15 years. But I teed this up, and I kind of want to talk about this for a second because Garcelle Bouvet was a cast member on Housewives for a couple years. If you've seen me on Twitter, you've seen I make my opinion known about Garcelle. I don't like her at all. I think that she came on the show to get jobs, and she formed zero authentic relationships with any of the women. Her best friend, Sutton, quote-unquote best friend on the show, she has not talked to since she left the show, which is ridiculous. Clearly, her relationships were fake. And it always felt like she just brought a negative energy by her presence and her eyes on the show. And to me, like, it just not having Garcelle on this first episode is just a whole breath of fresh air for Beverly Hills. Like, complete breath of fresh air. The show is so much different, and I don't really care. I got into it with her fans on Twitter this week about her being in the episode. Like, cool guys, I don't really care like if she's on the show or not, or she's talked about. They had to bring her up because of what happened. It doesn't mean that she's a main topic of the show. So I want her to kind of go the fuck home, stay the fuck home. I don't really want to see her on my Bravo screens again. Not a fan of hers at all. She didn't do anything positive for the show. Let's take Garcelle's impact on the show, and then let's take Bose's impact on the show. Whereas Bose has, made authentic relationships and wanted to get to know the women and brings an impressive resume behind. She's not just on the show for viral moments and knows that, if you come for her, that her fans, her Garcelle bots are going to come for people on Twitter. It's ridiculous. So hopefully going to enjoy that. Southern Charm this past week was great as well. We had the whole Sally's party. We don't know whether Craig's going to hook up with Sally or with her friend Charlie. That's going to be fun to see. Josh, I think you would like Southern Charm a lot. It gives Vanderpump Rules, but it's like the guys are housewives. Like the guys are one of the main focuses of the show. Also the Charleston aura and like the social circle, which has been really cool to see as well.
Was that the show or Hospitality that like they said Ali Luber was gonna make like a cameo on? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Hospitality. Hospitality is the one that she apparently filmed the upcoming season a little bit. Because
Gotcha.
I think she was talking to someone that was on the show, or I think her family might live in Charleston or something, and she might have moved there.
Wow.
Ironically, it's yeah. So that Southern Charm is based off of Vanderpump Rules, and Southern Hospitality is based off Vanderpump Rules and Southern Charm.
Gotcha.
And it's based around Leva's Restaurant Republic, which is a nightclub and restaurant in Charleston.
I definitely gotta check that out. I will check out the Housewives too. Did they say something with BravoCon that this year is 20-year anniversary?
Yes. So it's the 20-year anniversary of Housewives, and we all want to take a step right now to congratulate Victoria Gumbelson for returning to Orange County. Golf clap. That was such a fun moment. We all love our family vans and cannot wait to see Vicky back on our screens.
Yeah.
It's going to be really fun with the whole Housewives road trip thing. And Orange County, to me, was really the Orange County, Atlanta, Jersey were the first franchises I got into, and it's just going to be nice to see the lightness of Orange County again. Like this, I don't want to. The whole main reason why I said last week, like I want to stop with all the bloggers and lie detector tests and people talking to production is because this whole past season of Orange County has been about bloggers and people on Instagram and fans. Like, let's make it about the relationships with the women on the show. That's what the show needs. No more of this off-camera Kiki Monique BS. Like, we don't want to see any of that shit.
Speaking of Kiki Monique, not to make things messier, but how do you feel about the whole Tamra Judge and Scheana drama of it all?
You know where I stand is that I'm always going to be Team Tamra when it comes to these things. I think that Tamra Judge is one of the greatest housewives of all time, and she moves storyline, and the show was not the same without her, and would not be the same without her. Period. You have there's a Tamra Judge on every single cast that if you pull them out of the cast, the show changes. I think that Scheana's just trying to get press. She's dumb. She's friends with Gretchen. Cool. She's just trying to get press. Like, no one cares about you.
I don't know what to say. It's just like she put the book out and like how her and Brock like carried themselves on that Valley after show. I thought they came off very smug and like they had like the hottest takes for every single couple, yet they weren't like a main cast member on that show.
No, she's trying to do much to get on camera. Scheana herself admitted that the whole scene of the finale of Vanderpump Rules was staged because they were trying to have a next season. Sheena's doing this for press and to get on the Valley. Like, that's it. It's pretty obvious.
Did she come out and say something where like she was taking her anger out on Sandoval because Brock had the affair at the same time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
On her,
yeah.
And she instead of yelling at him on camera because she didn't want to take away from Ariana, she decided to take all that anger out on Sandoval, which of
course she did.
Yeah.
Of course she did. That's just classic Scheana. I also wanted to get into two more things before we wrap up the segment. I want to let you guys know also, like, please tweet me or let us know what you want to hear about in this segment. I am, they like to say in Philly sports, I'm a 4 for 4, whereas I'm an all Bravo person. So I want to talk about Below Deck. Below Deck's the last episode. I just watched it yesterday. It was unbelievable. I recently got into Below Deck and I've become obsessed with it. It's crazy. It's a very interesting dynamic where they have the dynamic of them as a staff. Then you get to see how they're doing with the guests. Are the guests crazy? Are they doing what the captain says? And then they have their own relationships outside when they all go out and hook up, and that's really fun. And then obviously, I think the chef's kiss of all reality television right now is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, like 100%. When you have a Housewives show that one event is an entire episode plus, you're doing something right. And there have been multiple episodes of that show, at least the last 2 seasons and throughout the history of the show, where it's been just the whole episode. These ladies fire on every single cylinder. They're always giving something. I want to say, in terms of like the whole controversy on the show, Let's be honest. Meredith Marks was absolutely 100% fucked up out of her mind on that plane. She definitely took sleeping pills. She definitely was hammered because this is behavior that we've seen from her before. Why would pretty much, Josh, what happened is that she went on this crazy rant over Brittany because Brittany had mentioned a TikTok that was saying that her husband was having an affair. She didn't mention it. She didn't come up with it. She brought it up on camera. So they're flying. They actually did a crossover with Below Deck Down Under. They filmed the whole cast trip, and then cameras go down, and then Meredith Marks just berates Brittany on the plane. Like pulls her hair, like cusses her out, like for 4 hours. And this is like an international flight. Like this, it's not like it's just a short little flight. I feel like it definitely happened, and I think that Meredith had two choices. She could either own it, or she could call them all liars and say that she doesn't remember anything, and that's pretty much what she decided to do.
Right.
I also want to give a quick shout out. We're talking about Salt Lake City is to Brittany Bateman. Brittany Bateman, you are excellent TV. Your voice is unbelievable. Keep breaking up with Jared Osman and getting back with him. I think what I'm really hoping at this reunion is that Andy Cohen gives her a box that has a snowflake in it because Brittany Bateman deserves to be a housewife, 100%. I hope she is next season.
Speaking of Andy, I saw a clip that he put out on Instagram last week where I think they taped the reunion last week for so he was like, usually some of these reunions go by quick, but we're still here like 10 hours later. So I guess this one got really spicy. So I was, again, one of the fun things about Bravo is the reunions and the concept of it and how they go about it.
It's great.
Andy is a great moderator, and shit hits the fan all the time, regardless of which show it is. So it's always good. Was there anything else that I forget, or is there anything like takes you want to give off on the OG VPR cast member or anything like that that you haven't had a chance to?
The only last thing that I want to say is, just like in wrestling, I think when it's pretty obvious that the fans want something. It's pretty obvious when you have a segment or a show or a storyline that doesn't work that you would go out there and put it out there again. And what I'm talking about is the Real Housewives of New York.
Okay.
I think it's pretty obvious what the fans want. The reboot that was typecasted for certain people of certain backgrounds, period, that were not friends at all, that was very inauthentic. Like they did the Vanderpump Rules reboot perfectly. They did the Orange County soft reboot perfectly. It was a mix of old and new. With New York, they just casted a bunch of people and put them together. I tried to start watching the reboot, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't sit through the whole show. It was horrible. And the whole last season was all this big drama or whatever. And it turns out that it was just that Brynn said something to Uba. She said there was some misunderstanding, but it was just a bunch of BS. So what I want to implore the network to do is, first of all, don't release this show with an all-new cast. You have to have some sort of OG presence. No one is asking you to cast Ramona Singer again. We understand she's not going to be on our TVs again. But like Luann or Dorinda or Kara Raswell, they would fit in with old and new. So I heard that we do have a cast, but I would implore the network to rethink this. I think the best option is to do a mixed cast, to bring in to introduce new ladies. You get some of the nostalgia, and I think people would eat it up. It's the 20th year of Housewives. Like I think in this upcoming 2026 year, you're going to see a lot of returns. You're going to see a lot of nostalgia because, again, it is the 20th season of Housewives.
A lot of stuff to look forward to.
Yes.
So you said the first episode's on YouTube, right? So that's where I could find it.
Yes. Okay. So I implore you, Josh, this week to check out Southern Charm's on tonight and Beverly Hills is on tomorrow. Just jump right in.
Got you. They'll give me something to do because I don't want to have to sit through a show that claims to have Dynamite Wrestling. But we're going to come up with a cool name for this segment. But I like this concept because we are, what's the saying in baseball? We're spraying to all fields when it comes to Bravo. And
4 for 4.
or 4 under 4. Shout out to Danny Bucco. Didn't he say this at Brown kind of like Well, we have 4 out of 4, but how about one more? God, that guy's the master of puns. Anyways, guys, we're gonna wrap up this episode here of the SUR Files, but a new concept that we're gonna bring in as we wrap up each episode. Me and Matt are gonna listen to a clip from the TikTok page, and either Matt or I could comment on it. And this is fun for shits and giggles. So we're talking about reunions, and well, you know what? How about this, Matt? If we want to stir the pot up a little bit, our deep dive topic for next week is this season 11 reunion.
Okay.
We'll do that for next week's episode. So here's a sneak peek of it. Here's Lala and Ariana arguing with each other. I put this in, and this is my edit here on TikTok. If you follow us at the SUR Files on TikTok, I said, maybe this is the WWE fan of me, but I just wanted to see an actual fight. So, so here we go.
And we moved on. We had this great conversation. I don't know why we want to pretend like
because you're acting as if I didn't support you.
I'm saying you don't have to understand every single thing about what you think and what you feel at all times to respect how you feel and how you think.
It didn't make sense to me.
I don't care. I've always known your situation is different. I've always supported
He's
that.
asking me a question, Ariana. You've been doing this a long time. You know how this goes. I was asked a question.
Yeah, you
I
talk
just
louder
answered
than everybody, and so you're right.
I have not raised my voice, not a once, during this conversation.
I'm impressed by that.
All right. Any comments there, Matt?
You could just tell they were all just done. That's my reaction. Is they were all just completely done. I think that we're gonna see an activated Lala on season 3 of VPR. That's a prediction.
It's gonna be tremendous. We got super hot single, still hot, given her experience, and yeah, she stirs the pot, man. She has no filter, and I'm curious to see how the dynamic is with her and the rest of the cast. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how you felt about this, but I was kind of hoping that her and Schwartz were going to get together. But that's
I heard that they did like a soft launch. I think they might have hooked up during the season. I don't know, but she did, like, she posted a picture of them together. I think I thought they were dating, but apparently he then met this girl who he's going to marry. Apparently, so
yeah. I saw the interview that he interviewed the girlfriend on his Retox Detox podcast a couple weeks ago. It was pretty good. So shout out to Scheana. I think she's going to be on the Valley as well. So be on the lookout for that. But on that note, Matt, any last words you want to share here before we wrap up this week's episode?
No, just looking forward to another fun week of Bravo content and another week. We're getting really close to the big day on the 25th. I can't believe the month always just flies by. I'm always like, I really want to enjoy this holiday season and be in the ambiance, and then I blink and it's December 26th. So.
Yeah, the holiday season is going very good for us right now. This time next week, you'll hear yours truly coming from Florida, and we'll let you guys know when we drop that episode next week. But don't forget, folks, to hit that like button, smash the subscribe button on YouTube at the SUR Files. Help us get up to 1,000 subscribers. That really helps expand the reach of our content. And we want to make this a really fun community for Vanderpump Rules, Bravo, Valley, just the entire Bravo sphere itself. It's a cool concept. You got two guys. You have somebody like myself that's, I want to say an outsider, but a newbie in this space. And we have
newbie. That's a great, there you're getting it. There you go.
Newbie here. So I'm really happy to do this project. It's something different and unique. And with all the shit that we've been able to follow up on TikTok, I think we can add these as a fun feature on this podcast as well. But don't forget, you can also check us out on TikTok at SUR Files, SUR Files. And make sure to hit Matt up at Twitter at McCool24 on Twitter and Instagram. I'm on Twitter at The Hoots Podcast and Instagram at Josh Lopez Music. So with that being said, this has been episode 2 of the SUR Files. We love each and every single one of you. And never forget, These are the best days of our lives. We'll talk to y'all next week. Peace.
You know, this is the time. These are the best days of our lives. Let's raise your glasses high. This one's for you tonight.